Alright, hey guys. Today we're going to be making kind of an explanation video about what's been happening with a few different things. If you're here on this video today, you might be here from a few different places. You could be here from the podcast, maybe you're just clicking through and you saw my video, or you may be coming from Instagram. Either way, wherever you're from today, we're going to get into a bit of explaining what happened in the podcast, social media, how I got started here on YouTube and Instagram, and just going through the history of how I got started. So a few years ago, I made an Instagram account, the Head of the Flock account, and it had me with a chicken mascot head. I was younger at the time, and showing my identity on the internet was just something that I didn't really want to do. I wanted to keep my profile private, and that's what I did. But I still wanted to share stuff about my chickens and my homestead and my farm and my life, the things that I love. So this opportunity for me was so big. So I created this Instagram account, and I enjoyed posting things on it. I got up to a 300 follower mark before things started to break off. I went MIA on that account because other things in my life started to happen. So with that account, I made a lot of friends, met a lot of people. I am excited to say that I am going to be running that account again. Things have slowed down, and I'm able to focus more on myself now than I was before. So let's dive into the podcast a bit. Okay, so you know about Instagram now, how I got started with that. So I started that Instagram account a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. So for the past 2 years, definitely a whole year, it's been a whole year, I've been focusing on my podcast YouTube. If you don't know, From the Farmyard, I have it linked in the description. I've been focusing a lot on that. I made sure that the videos went out. I uploaded things. I loved editing. I found my passion for editing YouTube. Never did YouTube before. And I just really enjoyed that world. So it consumed all of my time, which left me with no time to work on my Instagram account anymore. So sadly, the Instagram account came to a close in a sense. I went MIA for about 2 years, and I didn't really post that often because I was so focused on the podcast. So the podcast, I finally showed my face on social media, but I didn't tell my Instagram account who I was. I kind of left that profile private, and went with the podcast, worked on that for a year or two, absolutely loved it, learned a lot of things, met a lot of cool people, and I really enjoyed my time working for that and putting all that effort into it. But unfortunately, recently, we have come to a close on the podcast. Me and the other co-hosts that I work with, if you want to check out the podcast, you'll know who I'm talking about, but me and the co-host have recently gone our separate ways. We both have different creative journeys that we want to pursue, and so he's doing his and I'm doing mine. And so I'm excited about this, but also sad because this was my world. I loved working on this, and I really wanted to dive deeper into it, but you know, life happens. So from this, now that I don't have to focus so much on the podcast, I can now focus on myself. And so that's the exciting part of this. I'm reopening my Instagram account, the Head of the Flock account. I think I'm going to change some things, rename it, because if you guys know me here on YouTube, I'm Overall Farmer. That's just what I go by now. So I think I might change some things over on Instagram, but expect more from me there. I'll have a link for the Instagram and YouTube, all the links. I'll have a link in the description so you can check that out. Please follow me. I'm trying to grow again. It's hard going from a place where you work so hard and put so much time and energy to it just to kind of let it go. It's a very difficult process for me. It's also difficult to start again after building that up for 2 years and putting my focus on it for that long. It's very difficult for me to restart my whole journey on a new platform and to give that up. But it's something that I really feel like God's leading me to do. I think I need to close this door and exit this chapter of my life. It was good while it lasted, and like I said, I really learned a lot of things, and I love my time. I don't regret a single thing. Starting that podcast was a huge life lesson for me, and I hope to bring more content, more educating to you guys on this channel specifically, and I hope you guys would join me. So that's basically what's happening. That's kind of an explanation as to what happened to the podcast, where it went, and why I'm starting up this Instagram account again. It's huge for me, and I'm excited to see where this takes me. I'm praying that God provides the followers that I want, because the hard thing about coming from a platform where you have so many followers to doing your own thing where you don't have as much is, as for me, my whole goal is to educate people, and going from a platform where people see my stuff to people don't see my stuff is very difficult for me to get over, because I want to make sure people see my stuff, not because I want to get those points and that wealth and start making an income off of it. Of course, that's a goal of mine, but mainly because I want people to see my stuff and I want people to be educated off of the videos that I make. So having to take that jump, that huge step for me, it's scary and it's really big, but I feel like God will lead me into this uncomfortable situation, and he will make it feel safe for me. And that's just something that I've been praying a lot about, and I've had to overcome in my life, because as a Christian, I like the comfortable, and it's hard whenever you have this faith, because sometimes your comfort zone has to be broken, and you have to go out into the areas that make you uncomfortable. But it's in those uncomfortable areas that you really learn and you really grow in your faith and in that strength and in your relationship with Christ, because honestly, me taking this step, it might not be a big deal to some, but to me, it is a huge step down and a step back from where I was. And I'm hoping that from this, God does provide and he does prosper this, because ultimately my goal is to teach people about agriculture and to just educate them on how they can produce their own food and how they can become self-sufficient and all those things. But ultimately, I want to glorify him in everything that I do, and to share the gospel of this as a platform. I love to be able to do that. So if you're new here, thank you guys for joining me. My name is Reagan. I'm 18. I'm a backyard farmer and agricultural educator, and I love what I do. I love to teach people and to talk about what I love. So I hope you learned something from me while you're here. We do a little bit of everything here, but overall we have a good time, and I hope you guys see that and that you stick around for more awesome adventures. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.